Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. The podcast that keeps you up to date on all the latest school shooting TikTok trends. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as post-exposure prophylaxis and pregnancy brain surgery, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Dr. London, you know what's right around the corner?
Don't
say that guy who's been hanging out in my house lately.
Yeah, okay.
Because yes, he is always right around the corner, and then when you peek, he's suddenly not there.
Honestly, the times when he's not there are better. That's like less creepy than the times he is there.
Really? I feel like he's there so often that it's almost creepy to check behind a corner and he's not there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the way he's dressed and look. He says boo whenever he is there. So I guess that's why it's scarier for me.
I guess that makes sense. But Dr. London, fall is right around the corner. Just a couple weeks away. The leaves will be changing soon. The weather will be getting colder soon. Pumpkins will grow from the ground into their scary shapes. We are going to talk about frugal fall fashion. Just real quick. I mean, what are your frugal fashion tips for the fall, Dr. London?
Yeah, well, everyone knows that leaves fall in the fall. That's kind of where the name originally came from before we put in place all these traditions. So those fallen leaves, you can collect them together, bag them, and then wear the bag. So for frugalness, you go ahead and get your trash bag, fill it up.
Right, because we're talking about frugalness here. And the thing is you look at all of your neighbors' trash cans, there's so many trash bags in there.
So
Tons.
many. And a lot of them won't even be filled with trash.
No, most of them will be filled with trash. But they'll be in trash bags that you can then cut open and dump out and then use that. Actually being environmentally friendly and use that as an article of clothing.
So this is why I would actually advise, if you can plan for this right after Christmas is a really good time, because a lot of what's in the trash bags will be like wrapping paper from the presents they opened. That's the best time because that's sort of the least gross trash bag collecting time, I think. That's when I usually go collect it in preparation for fall. Didn't do that this past year. It's going to be a slimy year for me.
It's going to be a pretty slimy year because you're dealing with the remnants of summer pool parties. A lot of hot dog grease and dirty napkins, maggots, and all that kind of stuff.
All right, Cameron, we have an ad today. It's sponsor. It's Caldera Lab. We all know first impressions matter, and if you're not taking care of your skin, then that's going to be the first thing that someone notices. And for us, Caldera Lab does a great job of helping us prepare for these first impressions. And this can be for a lot of situations. For us personally, it's been with roast battles. That's really been that's
how we spend most of our free time is we sign up for these roast battles. A lot of them are underground. They're like secret roast battles. And the worst thing you can do is show up with bad skin. Amateur move. But this has actually been a struggle for me because when you and I are battling, I would typically focus on the skin. And I can't anymore. It starts out like, your skin is so... And I was like... glistening and bright and clear. So I lost that battle.
It's been pretty continual and look, we've lost, I guess I should just put it this way. We've lost a lot of money because we do bet. It's these underground ones. They do a lot. There's a lot of betting and it's been difficult. But once we learned one thing was to not make fun of ourselves anymore, because that was one way we thought we could one-up them.
We were losing points. Yeah, if I say it first, right? Because that's what Eminem did in 8 Mile. But we realized that we are not Eminem and 8 Mile. We are, just normal people.
Yeah. Well, but it did eventually after we learned to roast someone else, and also improved our skin so they couldn't make fun of it. We have been having a bigger edge now. And I think that really is thanks to Caldera Lab. So Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and the Regiment leads off their product lineup. It's a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin. Caldera Lab knows the skincare world is heavily female-driven, and it's long been the Wild West for men. So that's why they're making the solution simple. And this is for, whatever kind of underground roast battle you're doing. The venue doesn't change what products you need.
When you said the Wild West, I would say that's very similar to the underground rap battle scene. Like very much Wild West, very cowboy themed a lot of times.
What? The Tuesday one. Yeah. I'd say the Tuesday night one is what you're referring to.
Yeah, because it's cowboy night.
The Sunday night one is sci-fi themed.
Oh yeah, everyone's in cosplay and dressed up. I'm dressed up as Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner 2042. You know how he wears just a normal shirt and just normal jacket.
Yeah. Which we're big sci-fi heads, so that is the go-to reference for all of us. So Caldera has the Regiment, which is 3 products: the Clean Slate, the Base Layer, and the Good. The Clean Slate starts and ends your day. This face wash leaves all skin types refreshed. Super useful before a match, I feel like. Yeah. The Base Layer is a daily moisturizer to hydrate your skin and jumpstart your day full of confidence. And that confidence booster was so... I've learned that if your voice is shaking and you're stammering, it doesn't help. That's bad for you in a roast battle.
Being scared in general is probably not a good idea, because people sort of instantly pick up on that, and they're like, should we be concerned? You're shaking. And people laugh at that like it's a roast, and it seems like genuine concern. No, and
they offer to call the doctor. Yeah, a lot of times it stops seeming like a stage thing and more straight up concern. But since we've started using the Regiment and the Base Layer, we have had the confidence to really go out and say mean things to people in the appropriate environment. The Good is your go-to multifunctional serum at night that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps to reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines.
And it's all love. You know what I mean? We're saying these mean things, but they are our bros. You know what I mean? We are going out to Denny's afterwards or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. We should make that clear. Because
yeah, I don't want we're not actually being mean to people. It's roasting is it's like a game that we spend a lot of money on betting.
And sure, do all of us, well, at least do I go home and shed a few tears before I use my Clean Slate and put on the Good? Yes, I'm going to cry a little bit, because what they pointed out, it's like going to therapy, really. You find out these perceived faults in yourself, and then you work on them. And I don't know, in a stage, once again, with enough money riding on it, you start to make big changes in your lifestyle changes.
And if you criticize London for crying, that's toxic masculinity, which that's what Caldera is trying to fight, sort of.
Well, one thing that I should point out, most of our roasts are toxic masculinity related. We say oh man, you're super toxic with the way that you're talking to me right now. A lot of our roasts are like that. So Caldera Lab, they also have the Icon Eye Serum. It addresses the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye, which is fine lines, dark wrinkles, and puffiness. Caldera Lab is leader in men's skincare. Made with only top-tier ingredients, clinical trials have found that 94% of men's skin showed younger appearance after using Caldera Lab for a few weeks. 1 minute, morning and night is all it takes to reduce your wrinkles, fine lines, and signs of aging. And just for our audience, we have an exclusive offer. This is our best offer available anywhere. Use code JOCKDOC at calderalab.com and get 20% off right now. Get 20% off with code JOCKDOC at calderalab.com and make unforgettable first impressions that lead to the charming words, "You look younger." Yeah, so that was our producer, Cameron. Also with us is Digital in the House.
You know what's right around the corner? That guy who's been hanging out in my house lately. He is always right around the corner, and then when you peek, he's suddenly not there. That guy.
He says boo, so I guess that's why it's scarier for me.
That guy.
He says boo.
That guy.
He says boo.
That guy.
He says boo, so I guess that's why it's scarier for me.
That guy.
He says boo.
That guy.
He says boo. And later, Cameron tells me that we can expect a very special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
All right, so do look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback.
Dear host of the Jock podcast, I've been a listener of your medical podcast, but lately it feels like the content has taken a nosedive into a realm of confusion. The once enlightening discussions now resemble a tangled web of aimlessness, leaving me questioning the value of my time spent listening. I hope you can retrace your steps and regain the insightful edge you once had. This is one of those things where no matter what you do, you're going to have people who like it and people who don't like it, no matter what. And so you try to listen to one. Like, we had so many listeners just a few episodes ago saying, when are you guys going to nosedive into a realm of confusion?
Yeah. Oh, please. And that they said, like, please more aimless talk.
Like, I love not knowing what's going on. I love when you guys sort of start a sentence and then start another sentence and then don't connect the dots at all. I love how it's a medical podcast that is really serious for like 35 seconds and then outside of that makes no sense. That's what every single listener has been
like
saying.
You said, we can't please everyone, I guess.
Well, no, we can please everyone. We got to figure that out. That's our job. We have to make everyone happy.
I guess we could bring back the segment on the fall dressing. I'm trying to think of what other things we do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly medical stuff, how to dress, and then cancel culture and the woke mind virus. Like, I feel like those are the three things covered. That's the three main subjects of this podcast.
Yeah, and like we've been trying to get away from the medical stuff, but like the woke mind virus, obviously we can't really get away from that. That's sort of the
well, and that is a medical condition because it's mentally insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't even.
Did you know that the Keebler elves, they're actually going to change them to make them like pansexual?
Is that a change? Sorry, I
thought the same thing too. I thought these were guys who were down for anything, but them announcing it, maybe they're just confirming it for people who are confused.
Yeah, well, like they came out and we're all like, well, we knew that already.
Yeah, I think everyone can tell. It's the woke mind virus.
Anyway, to that listener, thanks for listening. Now for today's medical topic, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, and this is what the Ice Bucket Challenge was for. It's a loss exclusively of upper and lower motor neurons. So the cause of ALS is unknown, and in diagnosing ALS patients, you will look for weakness and unclear etiology that started in their 20s and 30s with a unique combination of upper and lower motor neuron loss. So the most serious symptom is difficulty in chewing and swallowing and a decrease in gag reflex.
Well, I mean, Dr. London, if they're talking about, what did you say, confusing ideology? Is that what you said?
Unknown etiology, unclear etiology.
Yeah, unknown ideology. I would say that describes you. Like, your belief system, your worldview is hyper-specific, often contradictory, and you're very, like, passionate and will double down on it. It's things like dogs are wives and cats are husbands, but dogs are boys and cats are girls. And you always say that to people, like, just chew on that a little bit.
Well, and it's not like, it's one of these, like, I get that I didn't go to vet school. I went to medical school. And I get that there's some difference, and like some veterinarians might disagree with me, but I'm allowed to have an opinion. And people don't realize that. Like, I'm actually allowed, and it's my opinion. And I have this platform where I can actually speak the truth a little bit sometimes. And yeah, sure, it might, not to use language here, but piss people off a little bit.
Yeah. You've got that. You've got your vegetables create depression. That's a big one of yours lately.
Well, I do want to be specific. They create They don't cause it, they create it. I believe vegetables, if you let them grow.
Oh, it didn't exist before. You ate a vegetable.
If you let them grow enough without controlling them, then one of the fruits of a vegetable would be, one of the things that they bring about is depression. If you give them enough control. And so that's why I do think like we have to I'm really pro GMO stuff. Like you need to genetically control them. Anyway, so with ALS, like I said, the most serious symptom is difficulty in chewing and swallowing and a decrease in gag reflex that leads to a pooling of saliva in the pharynx and frequent episodes of aspiration. That's breathing in the spit, and so you can kind of choke on that. A weak cough and cause of swallowing offer poor prognosis. So they can actually die as a complication of choking on their own spit. That's actually a significant issue. Diagnostic testing for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis includes electromyography, which will show a loss of neural innervation in multiple muscle groups, along with an elevated CPK, which is creatine phosphokinase. And that, once again, that electromyography, they literally put needles into your muscles and check the electrical charge that's going through it. That's what that is. So they have decreased neural innervation in multiple muscle groups.
Well, another big part of your ideology, just going back to that a little bit, just to have some structure to this show, just like our listeners want, is that you went on a huge thing lately about like planets. You're like, these planets, have you seen these things? Jupiter, you think you think that NASA's telling you everything? You think there's not some secrets up there? Those planets up there, that's where all the banks are. And you kept insisting that that's why you needed to keep borrowing cash, because like you couldn't go to the bank because you didn't have the gas to get all the way to Pluto. I guess you were saying on every Chase is on Mars.
Yeah, well, because a bit. And I hate to. So there are these. I've been to these sort of big cities. They got these giant Chase building. They got this Wells Fargo, whatever. They're all fronts. Like those are money laundering schemes. Okay, and then the real banks obviously are on these other planets. And the thing is, and for a while, our Lord and Savior Elon Musk was going to take us to the bank on Mars, but
the woke mind virus stopped him from doing that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So treatment for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is with riluzole to reduce glutamate buildup in neurons. Then there's edaravone, which is an antioxidant, and that's used to help with the oxidative stress that's thought to play a role in killing neurons in those with ALS. Baclofen can help with the spasticity. CPAP and BiPAP may be used to help with respiratory difficulties secondary to muscle weakness. And then, of course, there's tracheostomy and maintenance on a ventilator. Those are often necessary steps when the disease advances because, like I said, it's choking on your own spit. And so it's things that'll help to assist with bypassing that. But the most common cause of death in ALS or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis is respiratory failure.
The one part of your insane and confusing ideology that I don't get is you've been on these rants about how all birds are empaths.
Right.
I don't understand what that does. Like, I don't understand. Even if that's true, I don't understand what that knowledge does at all. I don't understand how that changes anything.
Have you gone bird watching?
Yes.
Are you blind? Is the next question from me.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I was joking. I totally saw it. I totally saw whatever you saw. Well, and I know you're an empath too, so you can always detect another empath. And I am too, so I obviously saw that as well. I was just joking.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you.
All right, Cameron, you said that we have a guest today. Is that right?
That's right, Dr. London.
All right, well, hello there. My name is drlondonsmith.com, and this is our producer, Cameron. What was your name?
Hi, I'm the Hyundai Hunter, a.k.a. Mickey Hunter.
Okay. So you're known as both names.
Yeah, I mean, you can call me Mickey, you can call me, but my title's the Hyundai Hunter. It's kind of a colloquial name they gave me because I do most of my work out of my Hyundai.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, who's they?
Oh, just the people in the people who hire me, the people who know me, the people who know about me. Anybody who's looking for a hunter in the city of Los Angeles, they know to call the Hyundai Hunter. I'm the best, and I'll give you a bargain if you're in need.
It's your name around town. It's not like
Right,
it's
right.
not unlike the movie
Right, yeah.
Mr. Lincoln Driver.
Mr. Lincoln Driver, yeah, he did most of his driving out of his car.
Is this the same Lincoln movie where he fought vampires?
I think, yeah, I believe so. He would drive around from vampire to vampire hunting them, which is actually funny because that's really similar to what I do as a Hyundai Hunter.
Oh.
I'll hunt vampires. I'll hunt whoever you want me to hunt.
So like bargains, like
I'll hunt bargains, sure. I've been known to bargain hunt for people. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Wait. So how do you do most of your work from your car? Or do you mean you're just driving from one location to the other? Because I think that's just commuting.
That's a big part of it. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a big part of it. But, I'm so busy. I'm working so many different hunting cases that I don't have time to, like, stop in my office. I do have an office, but what do I need that for when I've got all my files and everything in the trunk of my Hyundai?
so you're getting hit with this whole, whether to work from home, whether to pay for the offices. You're getting caught in this whole situation of paying extra for this office space, huh?
That's absolutely right. I'm paying for an office, I'm paying for a receptionist, and I'm paying for a Hyundai and a Hyundai driver.
Right. You don't drive your
Oh,
own.
you have a driver. Yeah. Well, he's
Yeah, because I got to sit in the back
looking
looking through my files, thinking about what to do next, coming up with solutions to my hunting situations.
What are those situations? Like, who's hiring you for what?
Well, right now I'm working for this lady who owns a restaurant, right? But she's been accused of murder, which is crazy because she seems so nice, and also we had sex one time, so I believe her that she didn't do it. So she's having me hunt down the real killer.
Okay. And
And this is one thing that I think like law enforcement could take a note on, is that when you are
sleeping
when you
with
get to know someone in the biblical sense, when you are intimate with someone, you do know their truths and their secrets.
That's right.
And I just feel like in an interrogation context, that could become very useful. Just because, you knew her once or however many times, and you instantly know, like, this person did not do that.
That's right. Yeah, just one time, and then obviously since she's now a client, I can't have sex with her again until after I find her killer.
so
Or the
that's
person who really did the killing.
Yeah.
That's the
That's sort of the
incentive.
motivation. Yeah.
It's kind of been the motivation in a lot of my cases. I'll have sex with somebody once, and then they send me on an elaborate hunting task, and then afterwards, if I succeed, maybe we'll have a relationship. But usually, I got to be honest, guys, usually I end up solving their problems and then getting left in the lurch.
Like, you mean paid for the services rendered, kind of?
Right, but then I don't get to have sex again.
Yeah. So, and this probably is way out of whatever you were planning to talk about, but like, do you think maybe just that's how you did the networking at first, but basically they did just learn that you had a skill set? It might have been just a one-off from the start with the sleeping with you, and then it's just they had a job to do, and you were like, okay, I can do that job, and that's it. That becomes the whole relationship, and maybe you have your expectations set in the wrong place.
That's interesting. I just feel like I'm being used for my Hyundai,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and I guess for my hunting too. But
I've seen these TikTok social experiments where like a guy, and it's totally real because you can see it on film because someone must be there standing there just filming with a high quality camera.
right,
But you see a guy in a crappy car and he talks to a girl and she's like, ew, no way. But then you see a guy with a Hyundai, like something that like is actually gonna, gosh, I don't even know how to say this in a polite way, but like flood a girl's downstairs basement. Something like a Hyundai, they're gonna be excited and they're instantly like, oh, I love you.
And I should say that was one time that was an accident. I crashed into a water line, flooded some girl's basement. I didn't mean to.
But it got you the job.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I totally hear what you're saying.
That's where the expression comes from.
Yeah, I was the original basement flooder. For me, it's just all about making sure that I'm as connected to the people of my city as I can be. Being out in the streets with everybody, working from there, sitting in my car, thinking, "Ooh, where can I find a good bargain for Mrs. Ramirez?" Or who is the guy who killed Chef Valena's murder victim, who she didn't murder, the guy who died that she didn't kill. And so I'm sitting in the back of my car trying to figure it out.
Well, does the back of your car have that sort of, I hate to, play on classic tropes here, but like the whole bulletin board, whatever, with all the yarn drawn across and the little points of, ooh, maybe this is connected to this.
Absolutely does. I hung a bulletin board up between the two seats, one little hooked rope on each corner, so between the two front seats, it's hanging there, and I can always connect the dots with my yarn and make myself understand what's happening. Although it's funny, a lot of my jobs I get from folks, I don't even need that. They're just like, hey, can you go find a shirt at Goodwill for me? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess so. What's your size? And then I just write that size down on the board, put a little pin in it, put a pin in the Goodwill, draw the connection between it. But all I needed to do was Google Map the Goodwill and write down in my notes app what the size was.
But I mean, why they hire you? Because they know that you're going to spend, before you drive over there and get it, you're going to spend 5 hours sitting there thinking, how is it connected?
That's true. I do spend a lot of time trying to figure that out. And a lot of the times the connection is between the size of their body and the size of the shirt.
Well, that, it's not that different than just normal detective work when you think about it. Like, yes, there are some riveting cases about a murder or something big like that. But most cases, it's like a stolen bike or something. Sounds like in your case, a lot of your, cases, quote unquote, a lot of your assignments are, this was my order at Sonic Drive-In. Could you go there and then pick it up for me? Maybe it pops up on the DoorDash app. It says, go do this.
Yeah, I have been known to get some orders through the DoorDash app. I'm on Uber Eats as well, just in case, got to pick up work where you can get it. This gig economy is really making my hunting easier, actually. But then you run into the more exciting cases, like a chef who was accused of murder. The gloves have her blood on that were found at the scene have her blood on it. And it's like, how did they get there? Well, obviously she was framed. I'm going to have to figure this out.
Do you just, when someone hires you, you're just like, you're innocent and you were framed, you just sort of start with that assumption and then work backwards?
Everyone's innocent until proven guilty,
Or do you have to sleep with them first and then you have a good...
Well, it does tend to go that way. Even the shirt person, that was a kind man who I had a great connection with at a bar. We hooked up one time, and he left his shirt at my place, and I misplaced it, and he asked me to replace his shirt. So I did replace his shirt, and then when I got over to his house and I gave him the new shirt, he said thanks and closed the door. And I thought, well, God, I know you're an extra large. I know what your dick looks like. We should just hook up again. But he wasn't into it.
Yeah, it sounds like the door was closed, so he probably didn't hear you saying all that.
I guess that's true. Yeah, he didn't hear me say it. I did say it out loud. Yeah. It's tough. Dating in Los Angeles is difficult.
Oh, I thought this was work. I didn't realize this was dating.
It's all tied up in each other. That's the problem, You only meet people who you work with, and you only have sex with people who then pay you to go get them stuff.
See, this is modern dating.
Honestly, that's not far off.
So one tiny question that isn't relevant to the whole, but does, with the board up there, does it make your driver struggle to back up, drive in reverse?
This is one of the great things about a Hyundai. They got a backup cam in there. I'm driving a 2019 Sonata, so it's got pretty good features. And of course, when I say I'm driving, I mean my driver's driving. I do drive occasionally, but only when she's trying to open up a dance studio or something else.
When you're talking features, I mean, does this bad boy have a CD changer?
Oh no, it does not. But it does have a Bluetooth connection to your phone.
I don't know what that is.
What kind of, yeah, what, so my phone is I make calls.
Yo, Blu-ray. No, Blu-ray's movies. Blu-ray's movies.
Phones make phone calls.
Yes, also true.
Right, but, you can have Spotify on there. What kind of phone are you working with, Dr. Lund?
Whenever I figure out how to open the darn thing, it's the kind it's got all these numbers on it. Okay, it's got a green button and a red button, and
call.
This one's newer. It's got a little like a circular pattern, so you could push up or down or right or left on it to select some stuff like your ringtone.
Okay.
Or for Snake.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I actually have the high score right now.
Oh wow.
The high score on your phone?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
And my phone is just the hamburger phone from Juno.
Well, all right. Well, I guess neither of you have smartphones, so you wouldn't be able to use the Bluetooth connection in a Hyundai Sonata. But yeah, if you have a smartphone, you sure.
Okay, well, it's not that it's like you don't have to insult everyone. Like, okay, our phones are actually pretty smart for what they do. Like mine can, like, honestly, can make a lot of phone calls. So, and if it's plugged in, it's a lot. Like 4 in a day. If I charge.
Did you ever wonder why there's the green call button and the red hang up button when you're never going to need to use both at the same time? You could just have one answer hang up button.
I would, for me, it's just I love colors.
Oh yeah, the colors are nice.
Well, Christmas time, I bring my phone out. Like,
everybody's like, "Oh, that's green and red. That's
you're
nice."
Seasonal. Yeah. So for me, that's.
This whole conversation, I might want to step back because when I hear green and red, I'm thinking of the lettuce and tomato that's on my hamburger phone, because that's really the only green and red involved in the mix.
Do you press one to answer calls and press the other to hang up?
I think you just answer it. You just open it, and that sort of takes the call, and then you close it.
You think that?
And then no one's, well, okay. So here's the thing. I haven't gotten a call yet, but I have given my number to a lot of ladies. So
well, you give a number to a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll go to one lady and say like 7, and I'll go to another lady and say like 9.
And they.
Oh yeah, they're not going to be able to call you with that. They're going to be insulted by you.
I don't know. I figure they'll all talk to each other and they'll get all the numbers together and then give me a call. I'm creating friendships here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually helpful to give one 10-digit number that is associated with your phone to anybody that you want to have call you.
God, a 10-digit number, I can't even comprehend that. That's like 90,835,465. I just go up to a girl and say that, and they'll give me a call on my hamburger phone?
I mean, honestly, that might work. They might put it together, but usually you just say the digits individually.
I'm not the Hyundai Hunter. I can't. I'm not solving mysteries.
So after you plug in your car phone, because that's like that's what we were getting at, right? It's like, yeah, you have a phone in your car. Okay, it's built in, whatever.
Sure,
you can make a phone call from your car.
It's not really, but yeah.
Right. Mine is a landline, a flip phone landline.
It is? You have a landline flip phone with Snake on it?
It can't hold a charge.
That's honestly cool. That's honestly really cool.
See?
Oh, it can't recharge. I see. It's plugged into the wall, not to a landline. I got it.
Mr. Hyundai Hunter, a.k.a. Mickey, is there a case that's ongoing right now that you're kind of stumped with? I mean, we could kind of help here, right, Dr. London? We're smart guys.
Oh, yeah.
We've solved some mysteries.
That would be...
Between us and our...
That would be honestly... fantastic. Yeah. Between this and what? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no. Just the amount of tech we've been working with lately, I think we are ready to apply the tech, because we have so much of these phones. We could make well, Cameron can't make a call. I can make a call. We can make a call together if that's part of how to do this.
It might be. We don't know yet, right? We haven't figured out what we need to do next. We haven't sat in the car for 5 hours and pondered.
Right, okay.
But let's talk through the clues, right? Okay. So, this woman, right? We had sex one time. Okay. And write that down, she asked about me being a hunter when we were hooking up. She asked about it, which made me think, oh, wow, she knows me. But also, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that means she knew me all along and wanted me to be a hunter for her and only had sex with me in order to make me hunt.
Does she get a discount at least?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Wait, I think that's why maybe people are putting out immediately. Is it a hefty discount?
Yeah, it's I call it the 2-finger discount. But anyway, I should say what happened was she was in an argument with this developer who was building a project that was icing out her restaurant and was causing her a lot of grief. And she got a restraining order from the guy, right? Because she kept protesting his building. And then he turned up dead with a big old hole in his head, the size and shape of a hammer. And guess what? The hammer that was at her house, it's now missing. Isn't that crazy? Somebody stole her hammer and put her own bloody gloves in her house covered in the man's blood.
Oh. And you saw it while you were at her house?
The hammer?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Just check. Yeah, I'm just trying to write down all the pertinent details. Okay, so there's a hammer.
No, when I was at her house, we were focused on the bedroom, not the tool shed. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's because it's warmer in the house than doing it outside.
Okay. Yeah, fall wet. Yes. Fall prep.
The tool shed was outside. It was raining, so we didn't go out there.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, it'd be a long walk and whatever.
Yeah, it was far away from the house.
With a case like this, where do you even start? Do we start with where's the hammer? Is that what we're trying to really figure out?
Where's the hammer would be great. If we could figure out where that went, that'd be fantastic. But we got to think, like, who else might have motive to harm this guy, right?
Oh, does he know anyone else?
Not that I know of. I think he's only ever met her.
Well, and sorry, just to go back, like I hope this is either a dumb idea or a very smart one.
Okay, I like where we're going.
When you say where's the hammer, have you, like, I know you didn't go to the tool shed initially. What have you thought about maybe checking it now?
Oh, wow. No, I guess I haven't. We should be hunting the hammer.
Well, or whoever you think is guilty, but I feel like the murder weapon might have some identifying material on it, potentially.
That's a great call.
Like fingerprints.
You can also just look in the shed without hunting for it. It doesn't have to be a hunt. You can just open the door and just shine a flashlight in there. Or I guess, is that a form of hunting, basically?
That is a form of hunting. You know, anytime you want to fetch a thing, you're on a hunt. When I get up in the morning, I don't have breakfast. I hunt it. It's cereal usually, and I hunt it on the top of my refrigerator, and the milk is in the inside of my refrigerator. I hunt that too. And then I'll hunt down some coffee beans from my cupboard, put them in my coffee maker, hunt down some water from the faucet, put that in the coffee maker, and then I'll make the coffee. And then you know what I got to do next?
Hunt down your shoes.
Hunt down a mug.
Oh, hunt down a mug first.
Yeah. And then I'll hunt down my shoes, hunt down some laces, tie them on up, head off.
Cameron, you're talking to a master hunter.
I know.
You aren't going to guess
I'm mansplaining a bit here on the hunting process. I apologize.
Hey, that's okay. We're just talking about breakfast.
The only thing I've really ever hunted was this hamburger phone from Juno. I looked
Hamburger Hunter?
Yeah. Okay, so for this one, we know probably just check the shed.
That's a good call.
And that's a good first step. And then you have to do 5 to 10 hours of pondering in the back seat.
Right. Well, we still have to figure out who else could have killed him. You know, because even if we find the hammer in her shed, obviously she's innocent. She didn't do it. So finding the hammer is good because maybe we can get some fingerprints on it and figure out who else had it.
Mm-hmm. Or like check the shirt sizes.
That's a good call. Yeah, the guy who died was an extra large.
I mean, XXL, was that Grimace?
XXL? I think Grimace is definitely an XXL, yeah.
You think the shake was poisoned?
He definitely could have had a poisoned shake before he got hit in the head with a hammer.
This is all starting to make sense to me.
More and more sense.
So we're looking for a McDonald's employee who poisoned his shake and then hit him in the head with a hammer.
So the next step here seems like it's go to all the local McDonald's, see who's orders the Grimace shake. Mm-hmm. Just say we have a warrant to get all their receipts. Mm-hmm. And then we go visit all of those people and accuse them of murder.
And this is the great thing about being a hunter and not a lawyer or a detective is I can just say I have a warrant and they don't know if it's true or not because I don't have to show them. Yeah. And I can hunt down a piece of paper that looks like a warrant any day, you know? I can't read. So I'll go in there. I'll ask him for any evidence of anybody who's ever bought a Grimace shake on the day of the murder, and then I think we're in the clear. We're gonna find this guy. This is great. Thanks, guys.
Before we end things here, we have a few chores that we just kind of have to do, and that we've been neglecting. Cameron,
I love doing chores for people.
Cameron, do you want to explain it real quick?
Dr. London and I have been neglecting everything on our to-do list for quite a while now, and so we invented this fun chore wheel that we spin every week, and whatever lands on that is the chore that we have to do. Now, Hyundai Hunter, Mickey, old Mick. Mr. Micko, can you go ahead and just reach behind you and spin that big old wheel?
Hunt! Okay. So this, and we get asked this kind of thing a lot, so it is a good thing we're getting around to it. Go ahead and write a letter asking a local college student to house sit for you.
Yes. Dr. Lynn, do you want to start us out?
Yeah. So, so this is a letter, and you want to okay, you remember college students are actively being tested and having to write a whole lot of essays, so they know how to write a good letter. So, and you're trying to be pretending that you are someone who graduated from college and know how letters work, okay? So you'll start the letter. Yeah. So you'll say, "Dear college student, comma, paragraph. Okay? And then you'll say, "Hello there. What's up? Is that drip? And it's giving you house sitting for me." This is all the new lingo. That's what I was using there, in case you guys missed it.
Then let's go to next paragraph. So space, paragraph. Don't call me the Riz God, but no cap. It would be bussin' if you came in house set. All right, so space, paragraph.
Yeah. Come be fam. Glow up with me, your CEO. Don't let cancel culture stop you from standing, living in this house with me, e-boy or e-girl. W.
I'm really glad that you mentioned cancel culture because we do need to bring up the woke mind virus in this letter at least once. So I'll do a paragraph on that real quick. So space, paragraph. Okay, so the woke mind virus, semicolon. A disease by the liberal media that's taken over all academia and all of our commercials and all of our magazine advertisements.
Yeah, and I like that we didn't have any specifics in there. I think that helps because if we told them specifically what the house was, who they were house sitting for, where it's located, I think that would confuse them.
Well, they would say no. Yeah, they would completely turn it down if they knew any details beyond what we've put there.
But I think that does bring us to an end of the chore and I think to the end of the episode. So thank you so much, Hyundai Hunter, aka Mickey Hunter. Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to? Like obviously your business and your next case, but anyone else?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate that. Shout out to DJ Dylan. Always good work. I'll give a shout out to The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. I'm not affiliated with it in any way, but it's fun. I'll give a shout out to my publicist at Ezra Parter on Instagram. Really booking a lot of work for me, which is great.
Well, thanks. And thank you to our producer, Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.
Hi, I'm the Hyundai Hunter, a.k.a. Mickey Hunter. You can call me Mickey. My title's the Hyundai Hunter. You can call me Mickey Hyundai Hunter, I'm the best. You can call me Mickey Hyundai Hunter, I'm the best. You can call me Mickey Hyundai Hunter, I'm the best. I'm so busy, I'm working so many different hunting cases that I don't have time to stop in my office. I do have an office, but what do I need that for when I've got all my files and everything in the trunk of my Hyundai? Because I gotta sit in the back looking through my files, thinking about what to do next, coming up with solutions to my hunting situations. You can call me Mickey Hyundai Hunter, I'm the best. You can call me Mickey Hyundai Hunter, I'm the best. You can call me Mickey Hyundai